All right, our next lesson, we're going to talk about the first colony that was successful inside North America by the British, which is Jamestown. Every time we say Jamestown, I want you to say to yourself 1607, or even when we're talking about it in class, 1607 out loud, because that is going to be one of the few dates that we do have to have memorized when it comes to the STAR test. Now, Jamestown was not our first English attempt at colonization. England wanted a permanent colony in the New World just to establish their power there. And by extending their empire there, they could gain their resources. Sir Walter Raleigh received a charter or a contract to begin a colony called Roanoke. They landed in Virginia and in a place that was geographically similar to England, a little bit different climate-wise, but a lot was the same. It was marshy, it was wet, and beside a river, which also caused a lot of disease and poor soil. The colony didn't do so well. It died because of the poor location, leadership, and resources. Basically what happened is they sent the ship back to get more resources to come back to help out. And when it disappeared, all the people disappeared. Still to this day, we don't know anything that happened. Basically, the next group that came to Roanoke, all they found was a skeleton of one of the people that was originally a colonist there, an empty fort, and the word Croatoan was carved into the tree nearby. This was known as the Lost Colony, still is. So if you want to make a name for yourself in history someday, solve that mystery, you will be rich. Now, the next attempt, our second attempt, is a lot better. So we're going to have England settling and making a new attempt and a new push in Jamestown. Again, 1607. Obviously, it's important. As the first permanent English settlement in North America. This dot, very important. Jamestown is established in 1607 as the first permanent English settlement in North America. The English were unprepared for the hardships they would face because they were just seeking gold and mineral riches instead of working to survive. Sounds a lot like our projects that we did. So Roanoke was around this area, which is current day North Carolina, and Jamestown colony is up here in Virginia. Now Jamestown, we had about 500 settlers make the initial journey, including Captain John Smith. However, in that year, we had lots of hardships. Hard winter. We had lots of people fighting with the Native Americans. We had people dying of diseases because of the marshy climate. And after the first year, only 60 of the people survived when the second group with John Rolfe showed up. And Rolfe was kind of putting himself in charge when he got there. He had very little leadership experience. And he marries Pocahontas, which from Disney fame, the daughter of the Powhatan chief. Now, Pocahontas and the Powhatans taught the settlers better ways to plant, grow crops, and harvest crops. One of the crops that they illustrated and showed to the people of Jamestown was the tobacco plant. And tobacco plants were the first ones that made a profit for the colonists. Shocking that tobacco would be very addictive when it got back to Europe and they started selling it. Because of the addiction of tobacco, people were buying it. And so they made their first cash crop. Tobacco, again, first cash crop, and allows Jamestown to survive. Not only did they grow food, they were able to buy more supplies because of this cash crop. Jamestown became a profitable venture for England due to the large quantities of tobacco being sold. It can only produce the large quantities of tobacco with the introduction of African slave labor. So we'll talk more about that at a later time, but we're going to see slavery is going to be introduced due to the introduction of tobacco. And this is a picture from during that time period, Martin's Best, Virginia, at the Tobacco Roll in Bloomsbury Market. And you can see some of the slaves working under the sun growing the tobacco. So it became the thing to do inside of Jamestown.